Hello?
Hello?
Hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 5. Today, we're looking at Monkey Kings of New York taking on Arkosh Ganging. Here with me today is USDanny.
Did you cut off?
Maybe. But I don't think
Sounded,
so.
10 seconds remaining.
you sounded like a robot. I thought your stream crashed or something.
5 seconds.
Well, we're not streaming, so that's kind of unlikely.
Radiant team ban.
Well, you're streaming for me, right?
Yes. I mean, if it crashes, though, it just, like, reconnects in a half second, so that's fine. Shrek, Lena going down. This is a bad game if your name starts with L. Looking at Lone Druid next. Probably
Is
Lone
Ice
Druid.
usually in this team?
Do it.
Is Ice on this team usually?
Arkosh? Yeah, he's their mid player.
Ice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you meant. Oh, I see.
Radiant team ban.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe we have a
Don't
stand-in. I believe we have a stand-on on Arkosh
Yes.
today, but I believe that's Jumpman is standing in for them.
Head pats?
I think so. I might be wrong. It might be somebody. Well, no, he's not. He's not. He stood in for them a different time in VM. Because that's Kitty. I'm pretty confident. And that's Treant first pick. I'm pretty confident about that as well. This is gonna shock you.
It's Kitty, as you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I think head pets is Kitty. You've got Kitty, Ice, the Bush, Gotham, and DVD in their standard positions. Kicking out the
Who did DVD replace? Do you know?
That was Inhale. Used to be known as Sir Fireball.
That's right.
And don't adjust your set. This is actually happening here.
Oh no, he's dead.
I'm not dead. I promise I'm not dead. See? The replay even kept going.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's don't adjust your set moment there. I just restarted my PC, so it's a little funky right now. Dusk comes up. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen a little more Tusk in this tournament, though I will say I can kind of understand it because it seems like every time we've seen the Tusk so far in this season, it hasn't gone the best.
Is that true?
Yeah, we had it on. I think really
had the best performance.
Probably Reedy has had the best Tusk performance so far. Even that was like a 5 out of 10. No offense to Reedy. When Matty Boy played it, he just kind of like didn't do anything, and they GG'd in 10 minutes. It's pretty much the only person who's run it this season besides Shakiro up here.
So it's like a PPM Tusk, I imagine.
Probably. Or it could be like a flex thing, you know.
Shakiro.
You're going to pick up the Tusk here and then decide what to do with it based on how the rest of the draft goes.
I don't think I've ever seen Dark Ace play anything that's not Rubik.
Silencer.
Shh.
I'm trying to think.
Got Silencer here. Hopefully he has a little bit more luck, whoever plays Silencer here, than you did on the hero last season.
I think both more like Toby earlier today.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like these two heroes don't care Silencer. Obviously Global they care, but like I think these two, like Tusk specifically, could just roll on the Silencer and kill him pretty easily.
Yeah, I feel like if this is a support Silencer, it's probably okay. You can just, you could just hit R, or you could buy back and hit R, and you're gonna be fine. If Tusk is blowing big spells on you, then like he's not blowing spells on anything else. He really doesn't win. Because, I mean, that's the joke if you support Silencer, right? You don't care about your life. You buy back and hit R. Actually, the worst thing that can happen to you is that you stay alive, like, silenced or stunned out. Drow Ranger going down here. No surprises there. What's up now?
You're alive. I thought you died right there for a couple seconds.
Whenever that happens, just pretend everything is fine.
I was gonna say,
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, he
Team
could just press
ban.
R, but you wanna
Radiant team ban.
own your lane with silencer, right? Pick it to be annoying and stuff.
I mean, if you're a support silencer, which I assume this is, you probably just don't care about your lane, to be honest with you.
Who plays lone druid on Monkey Keys in
PPM.
New York?
10
PPM does it
seconds
mid
Really?
remaining.
sometimes. Yeah. I think he ran it last season.
I've
I think
never
he
seen that.
I think he ran that last season against us, actually. I think he ran that in the Bean 10 game.
No, he played Snapfire and Sniper.
Right, yeah, never mind. I think we at least banned it, though. It had some involvement, I'm pretty confident.
I think
Goodbye,
PPM on Micro Heroes is a grief.
Oof.
I've seen his Arc Warden. I guess that's about it.
We've seen his Lone Druid, I believe in this
Seconds
season. It's
remaining.
done fairly well for itself.
Oh, have you? I'm gonna
Yeah.
sue.
I don't remember. I just know I've seen it. I don't know where I've seen it. I'm just very confident that I have seen it. No Razor, by the way. Interesting band, the Razor. It's
Radiant team
kind of
No,
somebody
that's a
who's
hero.
falling out of fashion right now.
Yeah, that's a hero I haven't seen like at all.
Yeah. It's interesting because even when he was still the big bad bully that everybody feared earlier on in this patch, he didn't really get a lot of airtime in LD2L, and now that he's falling off, it's not changing. We are going to go with the Dark Ace Rubik. We're confident on the Tusk. It's likely our PPM hero, but that could also be Kenny Lavender, their pos 3.
I'm honestly trying to think if I've ever seen Dark Ace play something that's not Rubik.
10 seconds
Have you?
remaining.
Couple of times last
5
season.
seconds
Not last
remaining.
season, he was in season 13. I think I saw him play a couple of non-Rubik heroes, that's it.
Is it like why do you think it's not banned?
I think a lot of
That
people
character he
underestimate it.
plays.
I think a lot of people just look at Rubik and say, oh, that's the guy who steals spells and, like, he has a slightly annoying repositioning stun and that's it. But I do think Rubik does offer you more than that. He's a soft ban to some heroes, and that Fade Bolt is something that heroes like Furion, for example, really don't like to deal with. You know what sucks about the Furion Treants? They already don't do much damage. You know what sucks even more about the Furion Treants? When they do like 0, because they have the Fade Bolt debuff, and they might as well not even exist. You don't need to have anybody else just nuke that wave. Just Rubik TPs to a tower, he hits Q on the wave, and then suddenly, boom, your Furion problem is gone, basically. And it works on him just as well, since like 90% of his influence in a fight is right clicking.
I hate Fury on my team and on the enemy team.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. You would hate to be on the looter team this season. You would hate to be on the looter team this season.
Ooh, I might stand in this Sunday.
There we go. For looter?
Maybe I'll get to see it. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. I do like how we have both the Treon Protector and the Nature's Prophet on this team. All we need now is the Hoodwink, and it's the eco-friendly cluster here.
Tree strat?
Yeah, baby.
Radiant team.
Like, here's what you do. You get, Life Stealer. Now, that's a hero we haven't seen basically at all this patch so far. Not this patch, in this tournament so far.
That's a weird pick, too.
We've seen PVC Pipe play it, but that's about it.
10 seconds remaining.
And would you call that playing?
Remaining.
Damn. I can certainly see the appeal of the Life Stealer in this situation. You know, Rubik's biggest downside is that if the enemy is magic immune, then you have 0 impact. Life Stealer is very consistently that and often gets to choose. Jakiro, same exact situation. You've pretty much knocked out any impact that the support line has, and this is a team where you really cannot, undersell the value of the support line. Molsky, Dark Ace, both having very good seasons.
I don't like the Leipzig pick.
Night Stalker.
I liked him less until the Night Stalker came up. I actually think unless you're PVC pipe and you try to fight Night Stalker on the first night, I actually feel like Night Stalker into Lifestealer is usually
Radiant
pretty
team
goddamn bad for Night Stalker.
Sure.
Like, all you have to do is see him coming to some degree, and you have a Treon Protector and a Nature's Prophet to help you out in doing that.
I guess they picked it, yeah, for the nature's profit more than the lifestealer for the lane. They don't care about the lane.
10
Yep.
seconds remaining. Dire
But I
team
like, I generally like the Lifestealer and the Night Stalker. Completely zeroes out the support line. And I think he's solid against Tusk. Doesn't help that much against the Walrus Punch, but he's good for everything else. He can use his
Radiant
ult to
team
jump over the
double.
ice shards if his team's coordinating with him, and it's a Gotham team, so that should happen at least.
Yeah, he could just. I don't think he cares about like the Night Sucker cares about the global or anything like that.
10 seconds remaining.
10
I like the
seconds
Night
too.
Sucker pick actually quite a bit.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Night
Even
Stalker.
and later in the game, it's like Lifestealer. You could just silence him, right? And he can't rage.
Well, the problem is that you can just itemize around that fairly well. Like, you
Like what?
know, all you need, it's like if it goes really late, all you need is one guy to have a Lincolns who's willing to just pop it on the guy, and there you go. Lotus can be good for that sort of thing. He could even go Lifestealer Manta style if you're crazy.
How does that
Dire
protect against
team pick.
silence? I don't understand.
Oh, you mean the Night Stalker AoE silence? So that should be
Yeah.
less scary as time goes on, honestly. Like I said, as long as you see it's coming, like if you hit Q before he gets there, he's just toast. He can't do anything to you. If you hit Q before he gets there and then you use
10
your
seconds
shard on him, he
remaining.
just dies, like pretty much guaranteed.
5 seconds
What's
remaining.
Lifestealer? Oh, the open ones.
Yeah. Really sucks to get it on the Night Stalker. Nothing sucks more than okay, you've already got a bad fight with the pause one, and now you have two move speed, and they have a hero that can teleport on top of your head from a million miles away and take advantage of that.
I don't think he cares when he's ulted too much.
Well, he still does because that movement speed slow on open wounds is like minimum
Radiant
move speed.
team
He's
pick.
like moving an inch an hour. Pangolier is also somebody that can be annoying for him, but it's also somebody who's going to have to see him coming. Vision and good positioning on this Furion Silencer Treant Protector trio here on Arkosh ganging are going to be really important. If this team
10 seconds
generally knows
remaining.
where Night Stalker is during fights, so far this looks like actually
5
like kind of a
seconds
no
remaining.
problem type game for them. If they don't have good sighting, if their wards aren't in good spots, if Furion, Silencer, Treant are not in positions where they're going to be able to kind of, soak up the smokes that are going to be inevitably coming in, if they're not in a good position to basically keep tabs on the funny blue demon guy, this could be really rough. Still, it's going to be hard to silence both Lifestealer and the Pango in the fight. They're not going to be at the same place at the same time, usually. And if you don't silence both, it really sucks to be them. Like, either of the others can just beat the crap out of Night Stalker.
Choose
You
your
think we'll
hero.
see a Rubik roll this game?
That would be funny. I hope we do. I can't guarantee it, but
All right, whose lineup do you like better?
either this is going to be a pause one Pangolier, or we're doing some funny lineup switching nonsense on Arkosh. Whose lineup do I
Ice,
like
Nature's
more?
Prophet. No, I
Yep,
think it's offlane Nature's and then mid Pango.
could
And then
be. Yeah.
pause one Lifestealer.
Yeah. The ice pause 3 worked well for the game it was deployed, but I don't really, I mean, no offense to the guy, but I'm not really
10
sold on
seconds
ice as like an
remaining.
actual offlane outside of a couple of heroes, and
5
I don't
seconds
know if a
remaining.
pause 3 natures is really what you want right now.
Doesn't he play mid? Like I don't understand why he's not playing
Oh,
for his
well.
team. Isn't the Bush like a pause
We
three player?
we used to, well, the Bush is a pause 1 and 2 player, and in fact, basically everyone on this team is a pause 1 and 2 player. Back when they had Inhale, it was Gotham and four guys who played those two roles.
I see.
Ice, DeBush, and Kitty are all basically pause 1 and 2 players. DeBush was the only guy on this lineup who has any real pause 3 experience at all. The other two really don't.
I just assumed he was past 3 because of the
Yeah.
series we played.
Yeah, for most of the
That's
season,
funny.
he's been pause 3. I don't think he is this game, though. It might be just trying to shift roles around based on the limited pools of these guys. Like, if we have a hero we can run pause 2 or 3, we're just going to stick. Well, I mean, really, if we have a hero we can run on pause 3 in this game that I know one of these guys can play if you're Gotham, right? You just stick them on there. I think that's basically the long and short of it. I don't know.
I think
I
fun
don't know how
fact.
well that works. Well, it remains to be seen, I suppose.
I think the last time I played with Kitty Pango was the last time they played in houses,
That's
which is
very
so
sad.
sad.
You wanna hear a fun fact? Actually,
Yes.
I actually talked to Kitty right after that game. You know what she said?
Prepare for battle.
No, I don't want my feelings hurt.
Oh, well, the thing, we were in VC, and the thing that she said was,
The master is here.
Was that the joke?
"That's the joke." Got to do that one at least once per series when somebody mentions Kitty. I imagine Kitty has got to be so tired of that by now because every time her name comes up, I do that. Missing Howler.
Where's Howler?
You got knocked out of this season.
What is this map? Fucking sand blowing all over. How do you play like this?
30 seconds to battle.
It's usually a desert. It's not today. It's just a sandy grassland because it didn't load in right. I don't think.
With me.
You know
That's
how it
like
goes.
double annoying.
Yeah, you just get the sandy weather for no benefit. It's because this is the only weather, like the only map I have. And so it's just kind of constantly this. It cycles between this and normal
The
map,
battle begins.
basically. I have a little bit
What
of
is
fighting
this?
over the room, but... Kitty
Oh,
unintentionally letting BlueJay have that. It's pretty good curse you.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes! Kitty is first blood here. Good ice shards on the Tusk here. Completely sidelined Kitty once they realized she took that shield crash level 1. Diva D is going to do what is, probably the smart thing here, actually. Just try to custode over this lane until Kitty gets back. Where it looks like Diva's going to be playing boss 5 on the Silencer this game. I really don't like this Silencer Life Stealer safe lane, to be honest with you, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, Trin would demolish this lane, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
kinda
Treon's not here. So, that's the life you gotta live, I guess. We gotta have the nature lane.
Anti-synergy.
We gotta have the nature lane, you know? They don't want to have... I'm sure the thought is you can't have two melees in the same lane, right? Not against Rubik. But I
Is that
think here you
illegal?
probably just wanted to go for that. That being said, since things seem to be starting a little slow, now it's for the best part of the entire cast, the roll call. For the Monkey Kings of New York, pause 1, captain of the team, you've got BlueJay on the Weaver. Pause 2, we've got PPM, Peter, on the Tusk, the man who is afraid to fight me on the Tusk. Pause 3, you've got Kenny, which isn't true, by the way, for the record. I just want to say that, but I'm still going to say that every time I mention Peter, because it's funny to me. PPM, Fears Anani 1200. Pause 3, Kenny Lavender on the Night Stalker. Pause 4, you've got the Dark Ace on the Rubik. And pause 5, you've got Molsky, 1-Up Molsky on the Jakiro. For the Gotham team, in what may be or may not be a permanent formation for them, pause 1, you've got DeBush, former perpetrator of 9/11, on the Lie Stealer. Pause 2, you've got Kitty on the Pangolier. Pause 3, you've got Ice on the Nature's Prophet. Pause 4, you've got Captain of the Team Gotham on the Treon Protector. And pause 5, you've got Diva D on the Silencer.
Are both these teams like 5-2 or something like that?
I think so. I will be ungenerous enough to say that I do not think it's exactly. No, it's not 5-2. It's because Gotham teams built more than that. I think this is like a score is mismatched matchup in this specific case. But even
Like
then,
one's four
it, it,
four, and then there's five. I
yeah.
don't know, five.
Either way, the important part is they're playing each other right here, right now, today. So there's one big thing about the Lifestealer. This is going to be, it's like impossible to do anything about the Lifestealer in this lane if he's awake. The Silencer is going to kill all of his kill potential, which really sucks if you're being a Lifestealer. Like, you want to be able to get kills in lane if you're Lifestealer, and you just can't here, really. Unless you get really lucky, or we got some misplays. Speaking of potentially one of those, we missed a bit of a kill down here. Let's just see how this goes. It's just not really surprising. Just Weaver to Kiro.
Weaver.
You know, another reason that the Triad being 5 this game would have maybe been a little nicer is like I don't know if I'm really down with the Triad laning against these two. They both have things that really screw with your living armor in various ways. Like the you know, the Jakiros kills mostly just negate the healing effect. Weaver just breaks all the armor that you fix, and you just kind of end up with net 0. Which means you're really kind of just you're just sitting on a slow and like a mid-tier heal. If you want that, Dazzle is just going to be better for you. Probably don't want that in this lane.
Pretty even mid.
Yep, so far,
Kind of expected, I guess.
yeah, once Kitty gets a couple of levels here, it gets like harder for Tusk to actually do much. See, it's even going to be kind of hard for these guys to kill each other at 6. I think, like you know, Tusk can deal with the roll, and the roll can also dodge most of what.
Like you swashbuckle and then you wait for your next shield crash. Whatever.
Potentially, but that's not what we're going with. So far, the Arkosh ganging leading in the last hit category. Lacking that first blood, or even that second blood for that matter. They are not lacking for last hits. That's the good news.
What sort of prize is this?
What sort of prize is this? Always wondering about that. Ice is in a really sticky spot. He might be dead.
On the Takiro.
But he's fine. Just gonna TP out. So one of the nicest things about laning as the Nature's Prophet is that you get that emergency exit button. You can just TP right back in. Makes for a very forgiving sort of situation.
Not for you.
And even though Jakiro had mana, it doesn't have Ice Path leveled right now, so can't really stop that anyway.
But I think they maybe kill him with the damage.
Potentially. DVD is,
Giga dead.
yep.
My edge.
Just gonna sit there and hope that Lifestealer is able to get something out of this. Answer's probably not without the phase boots, which are here right now, actually, funnily enough.
He's got him.
Goodbye, Dark Ace. This is the classic not worthwhile trade if you're an offlaner. If you trade supports as an offlane, the pause one just won that encounter. And speaking
Tusk
of
died.
one encounter, Tusk died.
Kitty
Yep.
God.
Oof. Yep, Triad just kind of found him trying to go down here. And first roll of the game actually does get a kill. The Ice Shards come out at a bit of an awkward spot, so... Unlike what I predicted, where the Ice Shards just kind of invalidate most of the roll, the Ice Shards actually helped it get a kill in that case, I guess.
How do you know that?
Yeah, I guess in fairness that is an assumption, but it is what it looked like at the end of that. We do have a level of our stun here now, and they're not going to let Ice get away a second time. BPM taking his frustrations out. The Bush is very surprised. He's got a full magic wand here. Not full, but mostly full magic wand here, so he's going to be okay for the most part. No matter what. Silencer has a billion tangos. Silencer's going to let him feast for weeks. Certainly a good way to run the pause 5 silencer if you must. Like, I'm not huge on it. I think it's just so much better as a pause 4 than as a pause 5. But if you're gonna do that, at least having a mountain of regen is nice. That was really mean Dark Ace.
And it would actually be annoying against the Kira and the Weaver, I think.
Sure. A little surprised Lifestealer didn't chase on that a little bit, but you know how it goes. Just not that confident, doesn't want to be like PVC pipe. Night Stalker is missing. So far, lane's definitely going well for the Bush. Night Stalker is getting a decent amount of farm, but like that means so much less than the fact that Lifestealer is just getting basically a totally free lane at this point.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not like Kenny Lavender is doing like badly, but he's not really putting any kind of stop to what Lifestealer's up to here.
You should go Maelstrom, I feel like. I don't like Armlet.
You not an armlet toggling believer?
No.
Why not, bro?
Maybe it's just because I don't buy that item so often.
Yeah. Now, like, I think Armlet's really good on Lifestealer because you can basically just sustain it infinitely for free. It's just a direct buff on you. And there's certainly no law against both Armlet and Maelstrom, which I would be surprised if the Bush did anything else. He's a big Maelstrom fan, so.
Got it.
You get the Armlet early, though, and it makes you really good at getting 1v1 kills, especially in a game like
Does
this.
he even need the armor in this lane?
Does he need the armor? You want the armor because it'll let you go in deeper against the Night Stalker, especially.
Dire are
And if Tusk shows his face, then the
Take
armor
that,
is
that's
certainly a
the power.
godsend.
Precious bounty.
Maybe I'm just, I don't know what the meta is now.
Speaking of the Tusk showing his face, that's exactly what we're looking at here.
Myself think.
Counter rotation coming in from Kitty. The awkwardly placed shards make this go quite a bit harder. And as a result, nothing's really happening.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lifestealer was like okay, right?
Yeah, he's totally
Only for the
fine.
rotation. Probably pressure tower.
Yep. I'm sure the thought process there. Okay, goodbye, Ice. Ice rotates mid to take the lane while Kitty is out. It doesn't work. Really don't think they should be running a strat like that, to be honest with you, on Arkosh. Honestly, if Kitty should be going anywhere when Tusk is moving to a lane, it's probably down here. It's not like Pangolier is the best hero at killing the Weaver, certainly, but at least getting him to route would be quite nice. Especially
Maybe
when,
the
even with a
Spartan
Treon in your lane, they're about to lose his T1.
Dire's bottom tower.
Entry in is level 6 secret root.
But like, the Weaver has also kind of had a fairly untouched lane phase.
Ice is level 23 natures. Level 22? It's kinda
Man's a
bad.
Furion level. If you think that's bad, you should see what Looter's level on Furion is. This is most played hero. By like a lot,
You
actually.
could have told me that he was Dorito tier, and I would believe you.
Who, Looter?
More than he is any other tier.
Bro, Looter's lunchbox here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dire's
This
structures
might be dead Rubik. Yeah, this is definitely a dead Rubik.
Looks like
DVD walking away from the Lifestealer. Exactly what you want to do when Lifestealer's at like half health. If you want Lifestealer to hate you. Gotham having himself a little ward war here, denying the ward off of
holy
Molsky.
Gotham god.
Gotham.
You should rethink this.
Got a bit of a go going on here on Kenny Lavender. The boys is getting kind of awkwardly blocked off by all this crap in this camp that came out for that. And now has decided that if he wants to credibly get a kill, he must complete this stack, which is probably correct. I mean, what he really needs is probably Armlet and a couple more levels of Feast. It's one nice thing about... What?
There's no stuns besides ult.
The support line's going to come out for the Night Stalker here. I don't know why they really are, to be honest with you, because These three are still not going to kill Lifestealer, and these three, on the other hand, aren't going to kill Night Stalker either, credibly. So, like, it's kind of a lose-lose for the supports to show for Radiant at that point, but it's probably fine. Certainly going to be okay if they get a kill or this tower for it on, like, the support lane or something, or on ice. Who's kind of showing his ass in this lane a little bit at this point. Like, no great reason to be here when you're walking into 4 guys. It's kind of pain in your future. Gotham posturing on the side here, presumably waiting for a good opportunity to ult, but they're not going to go for that. They're not going to fall for that nonsense. They're just going to wait while the bush farms.
Do you think Kitty goes Diffusal or Maelstrom?
Dire's middle tower is under
Got nothing
attack.
queued up right now. Anything on the courier? Nope. I don't know. I guess we'll find out relatively soon. Which one do you like? I feel like Diffie this
Probably
game is
Diffusal.
actually, yeah, Diffie this game is really hard for that enemy team to deal with. This is 5 guys who are very cast dependent, but don't have the best mana pools, and they've got, like, you know, not going to be exactly in the prime spot to buy a lot of mana regen type items. So you just pick up that Diffie and you hit Weaver with it. Like, the ultimate funny would be get Diffie, hit Weaver with it, like with your Swashbuckle. Mana goes under the amount necessary for time lapse early and he just dies. It's not going to be an ability that lasts forever, mind you. But the answer is Kitty likes neither and is going Blink Dagger into BKB for some reason. That's a bit odd.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
No, I don't either. That's very awkward.
But maybe she's thinking, oh, ice shards. I have to blink out of them or something.
I think
Get stuck there.
I think the idea is she's getting the BKB so she doesn't end up just voided out. She's assuming she's going to be the one that Night Stalker's going to try and close with them fights, which is an odd assumption anyway. I assume if Night Stalker gets a free choice, he's going after Lifestealer if he can. It's not always
No,
going
I
to be
think you
a
go for
possibility.
Panda, right?
Well, here's the thing. Both are equally cast dependent, and one's a plus one and one's a
Holy,
plus
what was that
2.
damage? What a fucking hero.
Kitty
he have
is going
Best on
to
Tusk?
roll away. Oof. Ooh, just barely dying there.
Oh yeah,
And
double damage.
A very belated global silence doesn't really accomplish much, unfortunately.
He's fucking dead. Oh no, did
Nope.
you see him?
He's only got level 1 living armor. Meth would
Radiant
be
structures
pissed.
are fortified. Radiant's middle
Yeah, I've
tower
seen a lot
is
of
under
people
attack.
max armor.
Yeah.
And they don't even get leech seed. I mean, not leech seed, nature's growth or what?
Nature's
what's it
grasp.
called?
It's the one that isn't named after a Pokemon move. Very weird that the joke for so long was it's all Pokemon move names, and now it's we've got this Nature's Grasp thing here.
Living armor is a Pokemon name.
I believe so, yeah.
Good.
You know, if we're going, Leech Seed is and Overgrowth is. That was the original kit.
What about the inverse? That's a Pokemon move.
I believe so. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I do remember it being a Pokemon move. We're gonna go in deep on the Lifestealer here, who's all alone. But he's fine.
Run!
Maybe
Creep,
less
run.
fine? No, he's fine. I like the living armor on the
Living
Lifestealer
armor
creep.
tree.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And that was a failed armlet toggle.
This is why I don't like Lifestealer to Night Stalker. The silence and die. So.
Well, the problem is that shouldn't happen to you later on. You should always know if Lifestealer's about to void you later on, like
It's
logically.
not the void, it's the silence.
And not the. That's what I meant. You should know he's coming. Is the long and short of it. He should not be able to do that to you. Probably at any point in the game, realistically. But like a spill at 16 minutes, where they just kind of jump on you, where you're casually farming top, is one thing. If that's happening to you at like 30 minutes, that's your fault. That's not Night Stalker's fault, honestly.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, it's either your fault or it could just be poor coordination on the team's fault.
Kitty has the blink dagger. Let's see what happens now. What is
Radiant's
now that you have
bottom
the
tower
blink dagger?
has been denied.
It's how Ocelot always used to build it, is you just get the Blink Dagger, you get the Force Staff, you get the Yule Scepter, and you just be a menace during the roll.
They're AFK. They gave up. Oh, smoking? I don't know how Blink Dagger changes any of these like fights.
I mean, the idea is not blink initiate. I don't think it's you roll up while the enemy team like you roll up while you're in fog and then blink in. Lets you
The
engage
leader has
from
no
a
mana.
larger distance. Yep.
Gucci or Pro.
But they don't. Not only do they not know that, they don't have enough manpower here to do anything about that. So he's gonna be okay.
What the fuck was the Pango? The Pango was bottom. Where'd he go?
TP'd mid.
On top?
We're looking at Pango right now. If you keep flaming like this, Danny, it's going to be Kitty's final LD2L game, you understand. Tusk here is just...
Tusk.
Yep. There's good instincts on Gotham's team's part. They know Tusk is... Why did that global silence happen?
Did
Okay.
you see the haste? Top? Oh, I guess it's fine.
But, you know, they see the Tusk snowball, and their instinct is, okay, he's just going to buy time to try and wait out the roll, just back up to T1 here. And as a result, Tusk is pushed.
Oh, they don't have roll.
A little something extra for the evil.
Silencer has 0 points in Glaze of Wisdom, which is interesting. Has missed out on 3 opportunities to steal Int as a result.
That is interesting, actually.
Looking at Kenny Lavender here. Kenny Lavender is gonna SV, but I ain't going nowhere. Treon, or not Treon, Furion! Furion, use your E, my man! That blows trees up! Oh no, bro. You hate to see it.
It's a disaster. Looking good for a moment. Oh, he's saved by the Treant. This Treant.
DVD, slightly less saved. So the damage isn't quite as bad as it could have been, but here's a pro tip for you. If you're a Nature's Prophet and somebody on the enemy team dies into the tree line, hit Eon where they are, especially if you've got a Treant ult and you just saw exactly their positioning. Hit Eon it! I promise it'll make it a lot easier to kill the guy. Saw that exact same thing happen. That was Looter playing it too. Looter's a Furion main, and that happened to him. But, pro tip. There you go. And the lack of CC in general on this team is probably the biggest issue for them here. They get to stun the enemy team once, like, every 3 minutes, basically. It's definitely going to be a very big game for, if they can get Gleipnirs on this lineup, it's going to be huge for them. Furion's got a Maelstrom already, and he's probably the best candidate.
Gleipnir?
Yes. That's how it's actually supposed to be pronounced.
That's not true that when you buy it, they say Gleipnir.
Yeah, the Dota heroes pronounce many things incorrectly, but the actual pronunciation is
BlueJay
Gleipnir.
dominating. What happened there?
Let's find out.
How does a Pango die there, actually?
Very quickly as well. Does Pango walk into 5 here, or what?
Pretty bad blink. Like, imagine you blink up there and there's 5 heroes there. Like, what? You're just freaking dead? What is
It
this?
just dies to Weaver in 1 second. Yeah, it's not the Grimstroke. It's not the Grimstroke bug. You can still use abilities when that happens to you. I gotta be honest with you, the Kitty Pangolier so far is not looking the best. We've had a few cool rolls, but it feels like roll's
Now
about
you
all
know my
she's
team.
got. And I think when Pango came out, if all you could do was roll, that was great. But I think right now, like, so much of the hero is about the infighting part of the hero, not just what happens during your ult. Yeah, I don't know. It's
I think the blink dagger, like,
so
you just don't do damage. You're just like ult hero now.
Yep. I mean, it's like I said, that's what the idea is. You go for the blink because you want to be an ult hero. But I don't think you can do that on Pango anymore. I just don't think, like, you're just missing out on so much if you're going that direction. Just does not seem good. Numbers not good. Numbers bad. Treant Protector with the I hate one lane approach down here. Got the creep line all the way up to T2. down
Do you
bot.
know if Rubik steals spells, does he get the talent portion of the spell?
Goodbye, Gotham.
Like for like let's say Nature's Sprout, does he take the leash talent if he takes it?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I've never really consciously thought about that for when you have a skill that is that affected by a talent. Treant Protector doing camps right in front of the bush, who must be thrilled at the notion, who has just finally finished his Desolator when he was one item away from it like 10 minutes ago.
Bastion X?
Yep.
I think you need a C.
Bastion. No, you definitely need... Well, I mean, what you really need is the shard here. This is such an insane shard game for Lifestealer. I cannot
Way too
even...
much text.
Did not read. This is an insane game for Lifestealer here. For the shard. Like, you get the shard, it screws up everybody on that team when they're not in the Tusk Snowball. It screws up with the Weaver, it screws up the Night Stalker. You ever seen the, you know, the old Scooby-Doo cartoons, right? When Shaggy's, like, starting to run away and he's just, like, just in place, just doing his full-fledged run while somebody plays a xylophone? That's the Lifestealer shard. You get that, and a lot of this team's problems are solved. You don't get that, and you just kind of casually step in front of a tower, and you're going to kill Tusk anyway, because a pretty well-timed global silence from the
Yeah, it was a good global.
silencer. Of course, it is probably not advisable to try and fight the Night Stalker in the middle of Macropire without your magic immunity, but that's neither here nor there.
You're right, if he had his Buko Moonstrike, he dies.
They're going to try and catch the Night Stalker in the trees here, but they just do not have any credible way to do that.
You saw that? I think if he just has AC, he just fucking kills everyone and doesn't have to run away.
In fairness, the biggest problem for him in that fight was magic damage, so I don't think the AC is actually going to help much there.
Was it?
Yeah, because he's just staying... Like, Night Stalker wasn't doing anything to him. Like, most of the damage he took with that fight was just standing in the Macropire.
Also, Pango was kind of late in that fight.
Tower has fallen.
A little, but it was probably fine. I don't think the Arkosh ganging lineup really expected that to turn into a full-fledged fight. I think they were just expecting, this is going to be a go, and then they're going to back. Like, if it doesn't work, and that's just not how it ended up turning out. Could get bashed on the Pangolier, that'd be funny. Well, it's a very annoying thing to deal with. Gotham gonna
Be
look
very
around the
good.
tree.
I don't think Pango needs BKB, right?
No.
I don't know why they're going BKB.
Nah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just Kitty is thinking, I'm gonna get the Lifestealer silence on me every fight, and you know, if you're gonna do this strat anyway, right? What you want to do? Oh, they are gonna go Basher. That's nice. What you want to do is you want to get a Yules anyway, right? So just Yules the Night Stalker, take 2 steps back and roll, or roll up. You know, because that's a pretty quick cast. If you do that, then pretty difficult for him to do anything about that. That's what I would do. But then my
This is,
win rate on
Nature's
Pangolier is
Prophet
dreadful,
Guidance.
so maybe you don't listen to me. That's what Ocelot would do, and he has a good win rate on Pangolier. So yeah, there you go, do that.
What's nature's items?
Furion got, let's figure that out. He's got BKB, he's got Maelstrom, and he is going for the Gleipnir, which is going to be very good.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be very good.
The biggest issue of this team is there's just total lack of any kind
Pango
of
could have
catch.
get Glipnir too, and it would have been good.
Yeah, potentially, but I think it's fine on the Furion. It's like kind of a matter of who wants to build the thing. Did Silencer just... Hold on, I gotta... Okay, no, it wasn't DVD, just dies of Weaver Illusions. But it is DVD dies of a bug, which is very sad. I am a Tusker. I'm going to 1v1 the Lifestealer now.
There ain't no way he doesn't need that AC.
I really just don't know why he's here.
Think about AC living armor. Literally no damage.
Well, AC living armor, you still lose like 75% of your health bar on that, but you know how it goes. Leap near on the. I mean, AC and the living armor, and you still probably die because you're just standing somewhere weird that you shouldn't be fighting some Weaver illusions for no reason. Like, it's not exactly a win scenario for Lifesteal in any case. 6 charges on the Tusk Deso.
Precious
Got
memory.
that Falcon Blade as well.
Dire's bottom tower
How many charges
is
does the
under
life stealer
attack.
have?
0. Oh no, 4 actually.
Direct. Some respect
And more
on
than
this
a.
Deso.
I thought that he hadn't got any kills since he got it, but I was apparently wrong. I guess he got it right before that that thing at top, so there you go.
Are they planning something here?
Potentially Roche. Or potentially 5-man smoke. Potentially 5-man smoke into Roche, that's what the Bush looks like he wants to do, but no such luck.
No, he thinks they're farming triangle or something.
Okay, that's way too much for Tusk here. This guy's already dead.
Yeah,
They did not need
no
the roll
BKB.
and the tree ult and the global there. Well, they did get him at least.
Trio. That's good enough.
So good result out of your
How
smoke.
come
Is
they're not
just
roaching right away? What
I
the
don't
fuck is this? Alright, I'm
smoke
tilted.
again. Weaver is immediately assuming they were roaching, so
Even Weaver's helping them out with the bug.
they're just gonna jump on Weaver
They have
now.
dust. They get
Yep,
the
Gotham
skills,
does have
that's
it.
good.
Gonna immediately get rid of the Gleipnir there.
They got rid of oh, he missed it. Wait, what?
And now everybody is sitting there just thinking, God, I wish we hadn't used everything we had on the Trio Protector. If they had the
Was
global for that.
This Manta, I guess? Was
Not the
this
Trio.
Manta on the Weaver, right?
Yeah. If they hadn't to use everything on the Tusk, like if they had the global silencer, Weaver is 100% dead, and that's a huge kill for them at this point. Top of the net worth chart has had a pretty much untouched game so far. 5-1 and 5.
Can't believe they didn't just go Roche. That's actually insane.
Now Radiant's gonna go
Roche.
rush. Great Roche lineup too. Though I suppose if you're thinking that your Roche is already going to be Picard and you can't win the 4v5, then it does make sense to try and get one more before you do it. Weaver gets
in the 4v5.
Weaver gets Immortality. Yeah, it is a little hard to see the Gotham team winning the 4v5 in the Roche pit if they get caught. Like even if they're the 5, I feel like Weaver is right now probably worth like 2.5 basically, and they had just used every spell they had on the Tusk. Like his death was almost worth it for the team just because of how much stuff they used to kill him. So like if Weaver just goes in there, they have no global, they have no trio, they have no Pango roll. The only thing they have is the Life Stealer bomb, and that's not that impressive.
Nature's so under farming.
Dire's middle tower has
Weaver's farming more than him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Very sad.
Very sad.
He actually does have pretty much the exact same amount of lastits, it's just that Weaver has a bunch more kills than him and a bunch less deaths, so...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna attract some Husky attention. And take the express trip to hell. That was really sad. He didn't even kill the tower. Ouch.
Just buy back TP in, kill it.
Yeah, there you go. Simple as.
Wait, what's that second ability in the tower?
Okay, Lifestealer just gonna eat Rubik. You have a roll in now. We have a Treant
What is
ult
that
that hits
Trion
0
miss?
somehow. I don't know. Buyback on the Furion. It's going to lead to the death of Kenny Lavender. That's the most appropriate thing Treant Protector possibly could have said there. Tusk now in the middle of this. BKB out. That's his 9 seconds.
The Jakiro's just killing the Nature's Prophet.
And
Holy.
what a 9 seconds it was, as the Dire lineup just get completely demolished. And I don't know. I think that's basically the ball game at this point. It's really hard to see any sort of victory condition remaining for the Dire, outside of Furion just gets to freely rap for a while and nothing happens about it, which isn't unthinkable.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to non-stop rap for like 30 minutes.
Dire's middle barracks.
Get
Arc
it
Warden
later.
Gaming.
Dire's middle barracks are under Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
We were just gonna go get this top tower because he hasn't died before, and he's not planning on starting now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Goodbye, Silencer. An angry look there from the Pangolier, who lacks anything substantial to actually do with that. Does have the Brigand's Blade at least, which is one of the nicer items you could possibly have on the Pango, at least from the jungle perspective. Nice Steeler sitting here looking at this, waiting for a chance to go in. Imagine how funny it would be if Weaver died to that. Imagine how funny it would be if Weaver died, because Treant just jumped him from behind and ulted him. He's gonna use Aegis here.
Dire's top barracks has
Bit of
fallen.
undue focus there on the Night Stalker, I think, as the... I just kind of watched through Rax fall here. Slightly awkwardly timed global, but that should be fine. It's not fine. Oh, oh no, bro. Oh, it wasn't fine at all. Gotham calls the G's, we're going home. Yeesh!
It's all the Night Stalker, I think.
Radiant victory.
I think the biggest thing, this is gonna sound weird. I think, honestly, the biggest thing that I think held back Arkosh in this game was just
Pango.
over-prioritizing the wrong people on the enemy team pretty consistently there. Like, you know, the microcosm of this game to me is the sequence where they drop 4 ults on Usk alone, and then they have nothing when they try to jump the Weaver to follow. If they have one skill and Weaver dies, that can be a legitimate game turnaround point for this game. But it's like every single time they had a good opportunity to drop on one of the old MVPs on the MKNY lineup, they were already exhausted. They had already just kind of gone through their whole bag of tricks. Some of the global silences were a bit scuffed. The Pangolier, the build was a bit scuffed. I don't think that was a decisive factor, though. I think it really...
You might be right. I think the Nature's Prophet didn't do anything. He just he farmed and fed the gold he farmed.
Ouch. I think really the big thing, it just kind of comes down to, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of like, you know, they're feeling the pressure. I do think Gotham is, you know, you can say a lot of things about Gotham. I do think he does get a bit susceptible to pressure sometimes. He gets it in his head, we're taking on a much better team, we have no chance here. And they just played the absolute safest possible game, but like, sometimes playing the safest is the most dangerous route. As seen here, where, you know, we've got to make sure every kill is secured as a tactic, did not pan out for them. Let's see what happens in game 2.